Well, bye.
All right, catch you later. Okay. Holy shit, here we are. 4 games down out of 6 played to decide the very first 5D chess world champion. Right now, we are witnessing with the black pieces Ryan 4 CEO. 2 games, one in the turn 0 variant playing against Dreamer, who's got the white pieces, who won 2 games. In the reverse royalty variant, the players have opted mutually to play for the decisive, potentially last 2 games here, half reflected, which I think it's safe to say is the least explored and probably speculatively at least I think community consensus for the least balanced of the standard variants, probably, maybe. But here we are, we're watching from Ryan's perspective with the black pieces. The players are going to play one match and then switch sides. If neither player wins both games, if they trade 1-1, we will go into tie breaks, which will be on the short timer. But until then, here we are, the very beginning, kind of blitzed out here by the players. Absolutely no idea what to expect here. The variant is half reflected, meaning that for the black side, the king and queen have swapped positions, so that rather than kings opposing kings, the white king opposes the black queen on e8 and vice versa. So here we are. What are your guys' impression of this variant, Lexi and Andre?
It's kind of insane, the variant, actually, because it's so much more freedom to attack. So
I mean, it looks interesting. I'm actually a little bit surprised that that neither of these players like took some time to actually because I feel like half reflect is one of these variants that if you actually put in some time would be very easy to get an edge on your opponent in equal skill. But I guess they're just stuck to their variants and now they're just gonna duke it out here. I mean, like once the opening is over, this shouldn't be like too different from like a turn 0 game. We might just get like a different structure instead, which could be interesting. I think this is definitely probably gonna make for a more interesting structure than turn 0.
I guess the difference is that if you castle long, then your rook aligns with the opponent's king, which maybe makes for like interesting like mid-late game considerations.
Wait, how does black castle here?
Meaning what? Like how do you do it safely?
If he castles queenside, where is his king going?
King always moves over 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's
he
weird.
either
because that's different than it is in chess 960.
Oh yeah, it is different than right. The king in chess 960 always ends up in like the same position, right?
Okay, I'm gonna email CTP right now and complain. He's again violating the.
No, you should email like chess 960.
Yeah.
You should email.
Email chess 960. Yes, Mr. Chess 960. I guess Peter Svidler, or we exhume Bobby Fischer. I don't know.
Yeah, Fischer.
Yeah.
Just 4,800.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't know. Has Svidler like been 960 champion for a while? I guess not, right? I think he's probably been a little while.
Let's look at the game, maybe.
All right. Hey, this crazy 6-pawn chain stretching across the long diagonal for both players. Weird symmetric position, but it's rotationally symmetric rather than reflectively symmetric, which is really interesting. I've heard a lot of people claim kind of like what
here's another emote for you.
Yeah, what's that? Symmetric. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? We'll consider it.
That's not original. I came up with it. Actually, let me show.
Listen, I've heard a lot of people claim, similarly to Lexi here, that you know, this variant should be kind of like solvable, or like there should be a lot of tricks that you can find that you can catch your opponent off guard with if they're not sufficiently prepared. The fact of the matter is, I don't think anyone has, so it's not too big of an issue. I don't know. This is like crazy territory here. I'm at a lot. I'm very curious to see how this goes. I think a lot of the meta that we see developed in game 1 is going to kind of be heavily influential on the gameplay of game 2. I see that Dreamer with the white pieces here is actually kind of lagging behind on time, which
Why
has
is
been
it
my
taking so
experience
long
as
for-
well.
We're like three
Define-
moves in.
Yeah, okay. Mage demonstrates symmetry mode. I was about to do it, but Mage beat me to
I
it.
don't know how many more of my notes need to just be my face stretched disproportionately across the screen, but you can build your own symmetric emote. Here this has actually been my experience where like going white is kind of a disadvantage because you don't really know what you're doing and you end up opening you end up like putting holes in your structure that you'll let your opponent kind of capitalize on, at least if you're me.
A little bit.
What a move
Actually,
here, huh?
attempting move was already to play d5, and now
to play
attempting move
D5,
for,
yeah, D5. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah.
and now attempting move for black is to play exactly. E4.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I guess he could have played that anyway. Maybe.
I don't think so.
No.
That's where symmetry doesn't really work.
Ryan can just keep copying Dreamer. Not sure how true that is. But yeah,
Just keep
okay.
copying, and if they take your king, then you take their king.
So this is kind of annoying. Wow, okay. now the rubber band is on the other club. Dreamer copying
Does
now.
that bishop on e3 matter here?
I mean, it means that he can recapture with the e2 pawn. I don't know what the gameplay is after that, but you know, it unpins the it unpins the e2 pawn from the king. But what the hell, man? what do you do here? Yeah, I think taking first and your opponent has to respond, and then you can get your knight out of the way. Maybe like knight e4.
Here we can take on c6 because
Wow, yeah, he just
Check
takes
this
straight up.
out. If pawn takes
what
knight,
the hell is this?
then you take the bishop with your queen, play f7 check, and then and then checkmate on the f file.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
you play f2 and then
I don't think that works, but that would be funny.
Dude, that's
and
legendary.
opponent
Why he takes
resigns.
the pawn?
If he plays this,
Oh,
No.
dude, okay, no, he takes back.
if this was a weighted game on the Enobot, I would play this immediately because it's too fun not to.
Potentially wow, he just takes. We get f takes e2. Holy shit. Well, that's fantastic. Oh my god.
Actually, this bishop might have some travels on the queen, maybe sometime, but
Oh, dude. You're not even wrong, right? Okay, the issue is what do you well, maybe
Looks
g3 castle.
this looks bad for black.
This looks
Yeah.
bad for black, kinda, right? No,
but
okay.
honestly, this variant just looks bad for black.
Here, a travel onto the queen on e8 is a way that I've lost many a game. Not that I've played many half-reflected games, but you know, something like this has happened to me a lot in the past, and it's actually something you really need to watch out for. What the hell is going on? Okay, 5 minutes down on the clock for Dreamer. He's got the very mobile bishop pair here in the center.
I think like logically, probably half reflected is the most, even though it's like the most unbalanced, it's actually
Degenerate?
because it's the most unbalanced, it's the most likely to be just 1-1.
No, absolutely, yeah, right. So as Ryan here, if you lose, you're not like super devastated. You're like, okay, now it's my turn. Now I gotta exploit the variant.
Should have just sacked the queen, man.
I should have just sacked the queen.
Can't be worse than this position.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I push e6 here, says Narik. Sir, what? Might have been a while back, maybe. Push e6 here.
I don't even have a move here.
As white?
It's white to
Um,
move as well. Oh my god, this is even
No,
worse than I
it's
thought.
white.
White to move.
Oh, instead of taking, I see. No, you're talking about d6. Okay, Nurik meant d6. Blocking in the dark squared bishop. Maybe, I don't know.
Like you can even play like bishop h4 here or something. Bishop
Yeah,
h5. sorry.
bishop h4. Honestly, yeah, bishop h5. Annoying the queen, maybe.
Bishop f4 also, maybe.
I was thinking bishop f3.
Or bishop f3.
Yeah,
Bishop f3 is also really
bishop
good move.
f3. Eyeing up c6. Being a general nuisance.
I mean, I guess like the easiest way maybe is just to just centralize the queen. Because like how is black going to develop? Like I don't see any move.
Yeah, I know. Dude, this is crazy. Holy shit. How do you move your pieces as black? Yeah. You can't. I guess maybe knight h6 and then you get
followed by bishop takes and then bishop h5. Oh no, actually you have to your king is pinned.
bishop
No,
takes.
I guess.
Yeah, what the hell? Oh, wow, okay. Opting for queen a4 followed by an immediate. Okay, so I guess he's trying to block the diagonal to his queen, right? So the bishop can't travel, which I think maybe works. I think
Also
that's the idea.
defense f7.
Well, right, it also defends f7, which is important here.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's
yeah, white can probably
Okay, knight
afford
d2.
just normal moves here.
We get knight d2. Oh, dude, look at the central look at these pieces. Oh no. Holy butts. But hey, you know, I don't know,
I mean, wait, but I mean this is where you maybe have some tweaks.
you give
like,
you give the black player an inch here and maybe maybe something is
yeah,
possible.
like on a good day, you might be able to play something like bishop c5.
Bishop c5. Interesting.
On a good day, not right
on,
now.
on a
obviously,
good
but
day. Today's maybe not that day. Travel
that
to the
day's
queen
never
here
gonna
is still
be
scary. I believe it's
because,
forced soft mate.
f8 is also mate.
Can bishop does bishop e5 not block the travel to the queen here?
Well, travel to the queen is just one tiny part of why black is in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, it's the most pressing thing. You still defend the f2 pawn as well, right?
But like then maybe.
And you know, I don't know. Then maybe you play like I mean, it doesn't look fantastic, don't get me wrong, but then maybe like queen e6, knight e7, castle queenside, you know? Okay, or the immediate queen e6 coming out. Jesus Christ. What the hell?
This is just disgusting. Like you can even just play like knight d4 here or something. Knight e4.
Knight e4?
I mean, just keep playing the game.
Okay, hold on. Knight e4, queen takes e4. Oh, sorry. Of course, there's a queen on a4. My bad, of course. But then you block your travels with the bishop, which probably isn't even a big deal. Because then you just take
seeing
with
this board?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Okay, so knight e4, and then you... And then probably bishop e5, right?
No, but then knight.
Then knight where?
Knight c5.
c5, for example.
Knight c5 and then queen,
it's just all
queen
fucked,
d3?
Queen where?
And then, sorry, queen d6? After knight c5?
Rook d1.
Rook d1, okay. No, rook d1, and then I think bishop, and then I think knight e7, preparing knight d5.
What? Rook takes d6.
Oh yeah, it's straight. Sorry, I was thinking that the knight's still blocked, but that was my bad with my vision. It just wasn't there. Okay, hey, it seems devastating. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck you do in this position. Both players taking about the same amount of time, probably similar amounts of disbelief for the jankness of this variant. Yeah, no, it doesn't look fantastic.
But I still think there might be like ways for black to
Dude, what?
like not in this position, but I mean in general.
In a different game mode, yeah.
Knight e7 here. Knight e7
Move.
preparing queenside castle, and then you know if takes the bishop, then you take with the queen and you
castle?
keep defending. Well, for okay, it depends on who you're looking at, but yeah, I guess kingside because it's toward the h file. Yeah, okay, so we do see knight e7. Not like there are many options there. If the knight takes, queen recaptures, maintaining the defense of the c7 pawn. And immediately proceeding that, you get bishop g5 maybe is an issue.
You can maybe even play you can maybe even play something crazy like bishop c4 here.
Bishop c4 here. Ah, interesting. That seems well. I think as black you want to get your knight onto d5 anyway, right?
Yeah, I guess you can block.
What the fuck? Well, okay. Actually, if white castles, if white castles queenside, then the rook stares down the bishop. And then you get the knight blocks, and then bishop c4. You have to be careful you don't open yourself up.
And even g7 pawn is undefended, so.
Yeah, but how do you get to the g7 pawn with the queen?
You can just play rook d1.
He can just play rook d1 as well.
And just fucking sack.
Rook d1, probably knight knight e5 then, or like take first and then rook d1, then knight e5. Probably the only move. No, but it's the only move to take.
Okay, so we get the trade, which I guess.
Bishop
right, bishop out.
Okay, this
is a real pain in the. Okay, that's maybe.
Wait, but
shrewd. Because now
I'm not sure how much I like this.
Now, the white queen can't get to a5. Obviously, it's defended by the queen.
Oh, but like maybe before and what to do.
Well, what about queen takes c7? Or sorry, bishop takes c7. Is there nothing there? Can you throw? This bishop is pinned to the king. But also, by doing this, there's a.
Oh no! Yeah, before
f2 pawn.
I don't.
The
like
f2 pawn is actually
for white.
Dangerous, right?
I think this was unnecessary.
Like, no! I think it's completely
traded.
Or not? Okay, wait a second.
Wait, but what's the follow up?
Well, actually, probably takes on f7, king takes, and then queen f4 check.
And then you go e6.
Oh, okay, you can yeah, you can block with the pawn. Oh, okay, yeah. For some reason, I assumed that you could.
That might have been a little bit. That might have been a little quick because now I think you actually have to. I mean, I guess you can just. I think you can just drop back the bishop and still be winning here. I think you can just play bishop e3.
Bishop e3. Kick the queen.
No, just drop back. Just be safe.
Oh, you know what? Bishop e3, kick the queen. And then maybe like, what if queen f4 travel to f7 where the bishop is looking at it? Because if you could travel, sorry, not f7. If you could travel the white queen onto onto c7 on this board,
Be good.
yeah. So like kick the queen here, and then maybe in like a to maybe like kick the queen with the bishop. I don't know, like rook d1 or something, and then or something annoying that like that black has to respond to. Maybe even like sack it or something, and then queen f4 travel to c7 mate, soft mate.
Yeah, actually, also white have not to blunder queen f2.
Yeah. F2 is dangerous, but e3 takes care of that, I think, right? Or sorry, bishop e3. Kicks the queen, defends f2.
But bishop e3 is not an easy move to find here because it's obviously not what you wanted after you played this variation. I don't think
True.
white's too happy with this still, like considering how the position looked before this. But yeah, it's still very solid. Like if you just keep the pieces on the board,
Certainly taking his time.
defend your stuff, I think you're gonna be completely fine. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of the story of this match.
Yeah.
Is that once again we see Dreamer taking a lot of time here, and from a position that's what I would consider not as crushing as we had 5 moves ago.
I'm inclined to agree.
He might be getting himself cheesed again.
Cheesed is a strong word, but well, almost down to half his opponent's time.
Maybe play before here, then Ryan has to play queen b6 and then play bishop e3.
But why? Because well, okay, maybe you're right. What's wrong with bishop? What does black do against bishop e3 here? Simple as that.
Queen d6.
Yeah, but bishop e3 and then eventually queen f4 is what we were looking at, chat. Comparing the travel here. You said queen where? Queen d6.
Queen back to d6.
Queen d6 and then rook d1.
Knight d5. Then we just back to the position that we had a move ago.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Okay, opts for queen d or rook d1 right out the gate, which I think makes sense. But now actually,
why would you leave F2
makes it spooky?
Here?
Yeah, exactly. You're giving your opponent like the only possible window for counterplay that you could, which is enabling this travel onto f2.
Also, if like isn't knight d5 possible here?
Knight d5. I think certainly is possible as a defender to c7, but you also don't need to. Oh, you know what? It does actually prevent the. Wow, we just get a castle. It doesn't. It does prevent the travel.
It's a huge move because it blocks bishop e3 as well.
Yeah,
I think that's a missed opportunity. I think knight d5 here might have been very strong.
That's a great point, actually, huh? Oh, actually, it also threatens mate in 1. With queen takes on f2 straight up, and then king takes.
The queen's protecting.
Sorry?
You don't like these lateral queens, huh?
Wait, so one more time?
The queen on a4.
The queen a4? Oh, you're so right. Well, I'm so blind to this queen on a4 defending the f4 square. Oh, sorry about that. This is why we have co-commentators. Okay, wow, the castle is really interesting. Castle here.
And I hate to say it, but I think like if I were a betting man, I think I might. This is where I might start shifting my view on who's gonna take this one.
It does feel like
it looks a lot like
all
the
odds. Ryan has stabilized. Now he plays bishop e3, which is interesting. I mean, it is kind of necessary to get heat off of the f2 pawn here. Although, maybe what does it look like if you just go queen f5 here for a black? Yeah, straight up, we see queen f5. What do the travels look like? Is this not an issue?
Now queen g4, and I think Ryan is not in time still.
Oh, anti-castle travel. Holy butts, you're right. And yeah, obviously he wins first. Dreamer wins first, right? I think.
Like if black gets to trade queens here,
Yeah,
this
it's a
is not
huge.
even that bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
He does
I think
enjoy the king
95 was
safety here.
was a missed opportunity because now we get kind of a similar position, but now the bishop's actually back on e3. But what happens if he travels to f2 now? I'm surprised he doesn't hover over this at least.
Uh,
no, it's not.
Lowe's pointing out that queen d4 as white does well. It enables the queen trade here for black, which I think is like very nicely stabilizing. But queen d4 as white does keep you safe. It gives you a counter travel against the queen f2 travels. Which is true because that bishop wasn't on e. Then again, the bishop wasn't on e3, which is what makes the travel possible for black in the first place. So yeah, it should be possible, I think.
What else is there other than queen f5?
Good question. What is he afraid of? Maybe he's sketched out by like the bishop travel. Like a bishop g4 travel onto
But he can do as a queen
G7?
then.
Yeah, but bishop travel is not enough.
No, I mean
For-
like if maybe he's like, okay, so queen f5, queen g4 or something like that.
Yeah, I think queen g4 is more or less forced, or maybe she's setting up for.
But then you trade queens and then you play knight d5. And I
Yeah,
think you're in a very good
you
spot.
trade queens and then the bishop gets on to g5 and then the bishop can travel, I think. And then there's a queen
That shouldn't be
Jurassic.
scary though. That shouldn't
Oh,
be
yeah.
You don't think that's scary? Maybe you're right. Maybe it's not scary.
It's.
I don't know. It
think
seems
it's
scary because then you'll have the bishop check on ace, or yeah, if you take on g7 with a bishop travel, then you've got bishop h6 check, so that you can't block the diagonal with the knight. All right, no, hey, we see queen f5 come out. Let's see if Dreamer opts to play queen g4 here. The timer.
Another move for
down. We've
Dreamer
got
is
5
just
minutes on the
a
clock for
queen
Dreamer.
to prepare Jurassic.
Exactly.
Before.
Because
Prep
he
a
has to
Jurassic,
block
yeah.
the travel now, right?
The travel probably happens this turn, right?
It's not. I think.
The other thing is you can also go queen f4. He goes for queen g4. Yeah, he's got the counter travel, which I think is an anti-castle travel. Tchaikovsky, maybe.
Yeah.
Certainly it is. Yeah, absolutely it is. So you got to be careful about that. I think the white player wins first.
Dare I say it. I think black's better here.
You think so?
I think so. I think you trade
I'm
queens
not
and play
sure.
knight d5.
Trade queens and play knight d5.
You trade the dark squared bishop, and I think you're Gucci.
No, but I like this bishop travel.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So here, if you trade queens and then you let bishop g5 and then you travel onto g7 with the bishop, does that not concern you at all, Lexi?
On which board?
Well, I mean, we'd have to go back and check, but it would be.
You don't even know what board.
Well, no, but on soon, right? Rook on e8 is a beast after trades. No, true. There's some validity to that. See that bishop travel. The trades happen.
Oh yeah, but he just wants to trade the bishop.
Oh, okay. He doesn't let he doesn't let any time elapse here. He just opts for the immediate bishop travel. So his answer to the threat of the bishop travel is to prevent the bishop travel. And then Dreamer opts for the bishop travel. Here, yes, I like.
He has to because he's just gonna lose if he doesn't.
He's going to lose to what? What's the idea?
The original timeline is fucked for him. Like he can't hold the original timeline. at that point.
Maybe you're right. But
Because
here,
because
look, he's fucked here, right? Because then the bishop check after on h6 if king captures, and then you've got the queen check, and then it's mate, right?
oh, but you don't take the bishop.
Well, okay, so what do you do?
Go back to h8.
Go back to h8. Oh no, even if you go back, the queen still threatens mate, right? Because like if queen over, oh, and then you block with the queen.
Oh,
I
if
don't
back to
know.
h8 and just
Okay, hey, king exiled in any case.
oh yeah,
This is, what is he doing?
G7 again and queen g4 checkmate.
No, but what's the problem with taking the bishop and then after bishop h6 check you go
Oh my
go king
goodness!
h8.
And then the mate happens.
Yeah, and queen g4 checkmate.
X.
Yeah. Wow.
Most of at least.
The exile. We don't get any time to analyze the position there, but
But what was the problem after king takes g7?
so
Yeah, bishop h6 check,
bishop h6 check.
king h8, right?
Yeah.
Bishop g7 again.
Yeah, checking, and then whether the king takes or not, queen g4 is mate.
Soft mate at least.
Soft mate.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you have the additional check even if you run away to h8. That's the only thing that buys Dreamer the time that he needs. So exile's there, and then Dreamer finds the mate. Wow, what a crazy. Okay, hey, listen. As Ryan there, you expect to lose with the black pieces, right?
Wait, actually I wanna see that one because
Yeah.
what happens after like you go bishop h6 check, you go king h8, then bishop g7 check, and you go king g8, and then
King g8,
after
then
the
you just
queen-
defend the bishop and it checks, right?
yeah, but then the pawn from the original timeline might be able to recapture.
Oh, hey, but then you can check the king on the original timeline again with the bishop instead of like waiting. So like you can go bishop f8 check the king on the original timeline from g7. So like bishop g7 and then king g8 to get out of it, and then bishop f8 checks the king on the original timeline. And that's the check that you need to get the king onto g8. Or sorry, the queen onto g8 for mate. Like you have the extra check there no matter what, right? Because the thing that you have to defend against is the queen on g4 is the thing that's delivering the mate, and you can't stop the queen from getting to g4. So even if you like recapture with the pawn, you still haven't closed the diagonal to the king.
Oh, okay, I get what you mean.
Yeah. But wow. It looked for a moment there like Ryan was in the clear, but what a volatile game mode. Holy shit. Okay, it comes down to this. A game 6 match point for Dreamer. 3-2 here. We're going to see whether or not Ryan can come up with the win in what seems to be community consensus, at least for all the players involved here, the least balanced standard variant in 5D chess. Ryan, the onus is on him to find a win here. It shouldn't be, in principle, as difficult as the other variants we've seen today, but hell, you heard it here first. The return of Lexi to 5D chess is imminent. And with that, here we go. Game 6, potentially the decisive game in this 5D Chess World Championship tussle played between Ryan Force CEO with the white pieces in this final game of Half Reflected versus Dreamer, who's got the 3-2 lead. Now the onus here is on Ryan to tie it up 3-3. If he takes this game, we will be going into a tiebreak scenario. If he loses, then Dreamer will be crowned our very first 5D Chess World Champion. The variant is Half Reflected. And 1d4 is on the board, which is fascinating. Well,
Samet, let's ask the important questions.
Yeah.
If Dreamer takes this one, does Ryan have to change his name into CFO instead of CEO?
I mean, that's up to Ryan. That's up to Ryan.
I mean, we can give the worlds.
Give us that one more time. You're breaking up a little, Lexi.
Oh, I just said we can give the worlds on the Discord. There's nothing they can do about it.
That's true. We do hold the ultimate power here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Dreamer potentially AFK or taking his sweet time to solve the variant after 1d4. Have reflected is it seems to be consensus among the community least balanced standard variant.
You know how Ando hasn't talked in a while. I think Dreamer might have some Queen's Gambit phone call in the background.
Oh shit! You think so? Russian collusion.
I was replying to Mage's crazy travels.
Oh, okay. These guys are working out the theory here for the previous game. Okay. Wow. Interesting. All right. Hey, what about pawn push to kick the knight on F? On C6?
And I think Ryan likes pawn push. I think Ryan will pawn push.
I think Ryan will pawn push here. What about pawn pushing last turn?
Maybe. Also. But...
I guess you probably want the knight on F3 first. Knight F3 is, for anyone who doesn't know, the best move in chess, especially 5D chess.
Just fucking play back the game, but this time actually fucking sack you. Yeah. That's all I asked.
Oh shit! All right, giving up the knight.
Okay.
All right, giving up the knight to put pressure on the F2 pawn.
They don't even give a shit anymore.
Yeah, what the fuck? Oh my god! Now this is an opening. Bishop C5. Okay.
I don't even understand. Like what am I missing after? Like, why did Black even play D5? Like, couldn't he just have played fucking
E5?
F5 and then time traveled on F2?
No, but it's not as good.
Yeah, because you don't have the follow up after an F time travel.
Oh, so you do know theory.
Well, no, it's. I mean, I guess, but it's just it's like that. All of that F7 F2 sack theory kind of hangs by a thread. It's like very. Also, this isn't turn 0, so Black can't. Unless you're talking about like white traveling. But still, the queen can't maneuver to a position where it delivers moves.
Actually, you're right. This variant is just trash. Black doesn't even have a turn 0 board.
Yeah, no, it's true. So that's why that's impossible.
Well, defended pawn also doesn't have a turn 0 board.
Yeah, but defended pawn also has, the defended pawn.
Well, it's a trade-off. No, but here the fact that the queen doesn't share a color with the pawn of the opponent that's only defended by the king actually means that you have time to defend if there's like a turn 1 sack. He's playing 6D chess on a 5D chessboard. What is the additional dimension? Insanity. Ryan taking his time here for the first time all set. 10-second moves here, blitzed out by Dreamer, which kind of crazy that we see that out of Dreamer of all players. Ryan now really taking the time to try and figure out what the fuck Dreamer is smoking. So lay it out for me, gents. If we see D takes C6, what the fuck does Black do?
Gonna fucking sack on F2.
So sack on F2, then what?
Then push E4 maybe.
E4, and probably we're getting at least a knight back.
Yeah, okay, you get the knight back, but, well, okay, I guess structurally you're better off as well, maybe.
I think this could be okay for Black.
What the fuck?
But what I don't like is that the diagonal is open for the king.
Yeah, but you can. That's the thing about half reflected is that you got to get the queen to an opposite color, and you can rarely do that in a way that doesn't sacrifice tempo. That gives the opponent the ability to.
It's just always something that's in the position long term.
No, you're right. You're
so
right.
Eventually, you're gonna have to worry about it.
Wow.
You might flag by force.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Dreamer appears as flagging Ryan by force. How the turntables. It's crazy that he blitzed this out in like 5 seconds. Maybe he was thinking about this variant. It's kind of nutty. All right, I'll keep it close. Did he scare him? Okay, with the bishop. No, wait. No, okay. Now bishop takes. Pawn takes. Takes G takes. Sorry, B takes C. Okay, bishop takes E3. Yeah, then what?
You're having a stroke.
Yeah, bishop. Wait, okay. Bishop takes. F takes e3. Now,
Like Queen e7 maybe?
yeah, queen e7. What the fuck?
Fucking caveman. No, he's just gonna push e4
No,
here.
because queen e7 threatens mate both on h4 and on b4.
Oh, the fucking knight is still there,
What
you
the
maniac.
fuck?
You have to push e4 first.
Oh, yeah, I see what he's doing. He wants to play knight e4 and then travel on e3.
Oh, 94 travel on e3. Holy shit, dude, that's crazy. Oh my god. Wow, dude.
That's actually quite a threat, so
Okay,
Ryan
yeah,
has to
well,
respond.
Ryan
He
Ryan
cannot take-
covering now, yeah, with the okay, developing the knight to c3 is something you're happy to do anyway.
Yeah.
Covering e4 as well as defending the pawn again. Wow, what the fuck is this? Did Dreamer have this opening prepped? Dreamer taking less than a minute here versus Ryan's 4 with the black pieces, no less. Wow, that's kind of when did he think of this?
This just falls apart, right? Like after knight g4.
Yeah, knight g4 actually. We don't have to travel. We can just go.
Yeah, knight g4
knight
just
g4 queen d2, and then knight. No wait.
No,
Ah,
knight
okay, so
g4,
it's
queen
not- it's
d2,
not that
queen,
simple yet,
no, queen e7. And then, what, g3? No, probably it's holding. Super
It's not-
awkward.
it's not
Kicking
easy,
kicking
but-
the knight. Wow, not even reserving the e4 square.
Yeah, and now we can actually see
Oh,
that pawn f2 check, like not C, but like invariations.
In a very pot f2 check. Oh my god. I
Example,
kind of like
pawn takes, white cannot take because then pawn f2 check, and it's probably
dude.
yes, or
so
maybe not.
Dude, okay. Wow, okay, we saw we see the symmetric captures of the kingside knights.
So I doubt that.
This is just over.
For whom?
I think for Ryan.
You think Ryan loses here for sure?
Yeah, now f2 check.
Okay,
although
okay, no,
you-
f2 check queen, yeah, f2 check king d1.
Yeah, he can sidestep them.
What the fuck is happening?
Hmm.
Okay, maybe what the fuck, man? Okay, wait,
Okay, still has to
maybe
be for
d6 d6 preparing knight g4 right, because then you have sorry, no, yeah, because then there's no other defender of the e3 square than the queen, and the d and f pawns are both gone. So maybe d6 here.
I would just. Why can't you just take the pawn? Like take on c6.
Take on c6 with the b pawn. I guess no reason that you can't, but your attack fizzles, right?
Oh, but because like look at the.
He just
dark
pushes
square
f2
defenses on-
check. Double exclam.
Everything is fucking wide open.
Yeah, okay, no, king d1 sidestep. kind of straightforward here. What the hell?
I mean, now it's even better.
Interesting. Ryan's got to feel the pressure here. His back a little bit against the wall.
I think you just
Wow.
take on c6 here, like.
Wait,
White can never develop.
yeah.
His pieces are so locked in. What does he
It's like
do
the
here?
opposite of last game.
Well, okay, he does. Well, I guess he's got exile ideas. If he plays queen f4, sack onto c7, and then knight travel when the king has to recapture, and then exile your king. Easy variant. Oh, he does open up the diagonal actually, so he can't really do that. What the fuck? Dreamer's still with a bit of a time advantage here. Wondering how he can force the issue. It does feel like black has the upper hand here, right? Although the queen activity, I don't know, is kind of is maybe like slightly convincing.
I mean, if you just take the take the c pawn with like just take the c pawn and then the knight has no squares, the bishop can never develop. You should be able to defend against any queen shenanigans against c7.
The thing is, you don't have the knight on c6, so a travel is super Monka S, no? Onto c7? You think that you can just prevent any issues there? At least the queen's not positioned in a place where it can like easily take advantage.
I mean, you should always be able to, like, let's say b takes c6, queen f4. I think you can just play something like queen d7.
B takes c6. B takes c6, queen f4. Well, that opens up the diagonals probably actually really bad. Dude, and this pawn, holy shit. Wow. Also, a draw is a win for Dreamer here. All right, technically you're right. I don't think I've ever seen a draw in competitive play. But who knows? Who knows? Dude, what?
I mean, if he's scared, he just plays queen d7 immediately.
Dreamer really taking his time. I think maybe playing this solidly.
Yeah, I mean, both queen d7 or just taking on c6, I think, are completely winning.
Queen d7 or taking on c6 here.
Yeah, I think Dreamer is probably queen d7 boy.
Well, you don't think that queen d7 allowing c takes b7 is sketchy, leaving a huge vulnerability on the c7 pawn?
But what piece can ever get there? You can if you want, you can just trade the queens. The bishop needs like 10 million moves to get into the game. And
well, okay, so you kick the queen with the knight. Oh no, sorry, the my bad. The bishop would be on b7. But no, what do you mean? What piece can get there? Because you've got the takes. Oh, I guess the queen is here. So after you travel, what you've got the knight check and then the knight check and then the queen deliver. No, hold on, I'm unconvinced.
How are you gonna set up a travel?
Okay, so c takes b7 after queen d7 or whatever. Bishop takes, and then. I don't know, let's just say queen c4.
And you get checkmated on e6.
But in a turn, right? And you win with the travel first? Maybe the travel is intermediate.
But it's check on it's just check.
Oh, yes. I see. Yeah, maybe you're right.
So the knight blocks is first.
And if the queens trade, black is just winning also because he has the bishop in the game. And look at also if the bishop is on b7, you can never develop at all on the king side. That is actually so sad.
Wow, that's a good point.
You can't even push the g pawn, and you can't even move the rook over to then push the g pawn.
That's a good point. Allowing this bishop to set up on b7 actually is like really debilitating, isn't it? Wow, the sad thing is you also can't in this situation. Wow, okay, queen d6 straight up.
Okay, queen d6, he might be looking for Tchaikovsky on c2 maybe.
Ah.
I think it accomplishes the same thing as queen d7.
Wow, actually that's a great point. Well, queen d7 doesn't allow you queen f5, looking for Tchaikovsky onto the c2 pawn.
But probably it's unnecessary here. Like practically.
Holy shit! Wow, Dreamer going in
No.
for the kill. Actually the king here. I understand why you'd play king d1 rather than king d2, but it does mean that you're super wrecked. From the perspective of
Wait, and now
Takes
Ryan
takes.
creates even more weaknesses.
Yeah, this is pretty spooky. There's now like a okay, the bishop still can't Tchaikovsky, but if you had played maybe king d2, it looks a lot scarier, but then you can maybe like manually castle. Whereas now you know, your king is a sitting duck. I guess castling though just introduces a host of
Can't
vulnerabilities.
castle.
Anyway, no, I know, but like if even if you played like king d2 instead to like play rook d1 and then king c1.
Like queen d2 is very bad because then queen travels at some point on e3. Queen doesn't even have to do anything. Queen travels to e3 like a delayed Tchaikovsky.
Oh, that's a good
If
point.
queen
That's a good point.
recaptures, then queen recaptures.
Yeah, because
and
take queen captures mate. You're absolutely correct. So king d2 was really brutal there.
Yeah, this is just pure depression.
Holy shit! This is what. This is okay. So preventing the travel, the only move that really does so. Is, you know,
yeah, actually, just taking the pawn comes with the threat of c5.
just taking the pawn.
Yeah, if you take the pawn, you threaten c5 next move, displacing the queen, and then
Just-
fail.
If you take.
You can just. You can
Sorry,
just play
sorry,
queen e6 here.
I'm lost. If you take which like the pawn now as which player?
No, as black,
As black taking the pawn on e3?
No, on c6.
Oh, taking the c6 pawn.
Yeah, and then it threatens c5. But
Ah, okay,
no,
I see.
mhm,
Okay, wow. All right, opting for the queen trade.
I thought he almost had.
Interesting. He drops all of the quick mating ideas here, and we have the symmetric. We have this. Look at the structure.
Oh, what?
The pawn is completely symmetric now. It's completely rotationally symmetric.
Because I think he
What the
probably had
fuck?
like mates there. This is
What?
pure
Was there
style
nothing better
points.
Dreamer could have done there? Even on time as well. What's happening? How did we not get insane commitment? It just felt like there were so many vulnerabilities there. What the fuck? What the fuck, man? Wow, okay. Interesting. All right. Yeah, so how do you break this? Now you develop the only way that you really can.
Went for this. What?
Is this new half reflected theory? Something like that. Now you're going for the king side bishop frappuccino followed by, I guess, rook f8. What the fuck? Now though we have to break symmetry, right? Because you can't play you can't really play b6 here.
I guess Dreamer really wants to see princess, so he wants to play 4 tie breaks.
We're gonna have to go back to the tapes there. So I have no idea what the hell. What just happened there?
Must have some mates with some phasing or something.
That's insane. Well, listen, there's still structural vulnerabilities here that aren't necessarily like super easy for. Well, okay.
I think you play.
I was thinking knight g4, but then knight d5.
No. You can't give up the squares in the center on e4 and d5. So I think I will probably play e5 here.
Wait, what do you think about now
E5,
that there are no queens? What if king d7 instead, so that you can pull the rook over and then pull the king to f8? King e7 instead of e8.
Yeah, I think you can get your bishop into the game and just checkmate your opponent.
As which player?
As black. I think black can go d5 here.
Wow, d5 here, huh? I guess it makes some sense.
Yeah, but then you have to play g5, e6, but then you have to do it again to face.
Yeah, like the double phase. And at any point in which, by the way, the phase can get messed up by a check here. Oh no, you don't move the bishop until it's mate. Never mind. Yeah, wow. Super spooky. Obviously, by the way, this also sets up like it threatens a mate for Ryan here, right? With the bishop frappuccino on G2. So like bishop on G2, and then Dreamer's got to be wary of just something like knight D5. We do see D5 here come out for Dreamer. Spent a lot of time on that move. Very volatile position. Forced asymmetry here. And then we go ahead. Yeah, so here Ryan is threatening knight takes D5. And then you're laughing straight to the bank, right? Because if knight recaptures, you just win. Although there is a check that Dreamer can deliver, but it's not. It's literally inconsequential, right?
Can you not go just e6 here?
Wait, okay, hold up. So now, what's wrong with knight takes d5?
Just play bishop e6.
Knight takes d5, bishop e6. Yeah, I suppose it's fair enough. Yeah. Then you're threatening your own. Well, no. Is it better for? No, I think that loses. No, you're right. It's just in time. Because if you take the knight with check and then recaptures with the g pawn, yeah, then I think it's just in time to stop the e4. Obviously, yeah. What the fuck? The fuck am I watching? Yeah, so that's the line that Mage was saying just now, but I think bishop e6 blocks the timing is wrong for bishop
the timing
e4.
is wrong.
Mate. Yeah. Holy shit, dude. What the
It will be like
he saw this as well, otherwise he wouldn't have played this.
Yeah, so maybe what knight b5? Maybe?
What?
Knight b5? Knight b5 threatening e6. Sorry, d6 rather. And then he doesn't have he can't move the knight and the bishop doesn't help. What does he do? King up and then he loses to a travel?
No, I think if knight b5 you probably have to go king f8.
Yeah, I think you probably do have to go king f8.
White has to be a little bit careful if he takes all these pawns, because eventually the e file might be open again. The d file.
Yeah, scary. No, there is like a crazy phase here that's potentially eventually possible, but I mean both players are more than aware of the open diagonals. Look at this fucking
it was
position.
an amazing resource to force the queen trade and then go for the c7 check.
Yeah, wow.
Was it forced? How was it forced?
I think it was like it is obvious that he wanted to trade queens, but I think he just underestimated how bad his bishop would be. But it was kind of hard to see. But
I don't know.
Like I still think black might be better here, even though it look like it. Because I just don't see how white can make progress at the moment, whereas black has a pretty clear idea.
Well, okay. What? How do you mean? Give me your idea.
So I mean, if nothing happens, then you just play then you just play like you play your bishop out, play rook c8, and pick up the pawn, and then possibly get the knight as well. Like the knight is only there to always trade itself for the bishop. Like if the bishop ever captures on d5, you immediately take that out. Because if the knight captures, you try to you don't trade it immediately. And in the long run, the king on d1 is just a little bit more vulnerable than on e8, I think.
Yeah, but nothing's never gonna happen in this position, right? Ah, okay, interesting. Tone says knight takes d5, bishop e6, knight takes f6, check. G takes f6, and then bishop takes b7, and then the rook is trapped between the pawn and the bishop, threatening mate as well. When the bishop defends the queen promotion, it's kind of brutal. Holy shit. What do you do there after the bishop? Well, no, you lose. I think you're still safe because, dude, I don't know. I actually don't know. I have no idea. Well, okay, no, you can king. Oh no, king d7 doesn't work because after check with the, no, it does work because you connect the rooks. I think in that line, king e7 or king d7 both work. Maybe white's bishop still defends though. Oh, true. Then you check and then takes. Oh, and then the bishop can just sit there and mate the king. No, I think then you can play rook b8 to kick the.
Well, what's going on in this position?
Okay.
Can he not play d4 here?
I was looking at e4, and I thought it looked scary for white. Yeah, d4, kick the rook, or kick the knight.
Or just capture, I guess. I mean,
I was thinking of capture, and then what do you do?
It has to be knight b4 ideas.
Capture knight b4 ideas. Yeah. Opening up the diagonal. We also be careful. We have to be careful to not get wrecked yourself.
I think you take on e4, and after knight b4 you go king f8, and then eventually you're gonna get your
e4 after knight
bishop
b4,
e7.
king f8.
Bishop d7, sorry.
Yeah, and then bishop
eventually.
d7. Maybe, dude. But the phase doesn't work because on the turn where he has to push one of the pawns, you can like sack the pawn. And I think that the white king can get out of harm's way in time, maybe.
I'm not sure.
What an insane endgame.
Yeah,
take
I'm
the
not
rook
sure I would call it an endgame yet.
with the bishop, but then your opponent has a bishop.
I think he has to capture here. Like everything else doesn't make a lot of sense. I guess after captures knight takes, you also have to play king f8. Oh no, actually you can't. Oh, okay, wait, maybe you can't capture because after takes, knight takes,
king f8.
No,
because then knight check takes and then bishop is still mate.
And then bishop
yeah,
bishop
before looks interesting.
What about bishop e6 now? Bishop e6, and then knight b4, king e7, or no, definitely king d7. So
actually, bishop e6 is a really good move here. I actually like that one.
Right, cover everything up, defend the pawn.
No, because if he takes, you can go knight g4. I think.
Hey, knight g4 is slick. I like that. Yeah.
I think.
Maybe.
Because at the end you actually pick up the bishop. Bishop on g2.
I kind of like d4 because what do you do?
d4 is just simple.
d4, I don't know what knight b4.
And then king f8.
Oh yeah.
And then king f8. I mean, if you pick up this pawn though, You threaten mate in 1. Traveling with the knight. If the king is on f8 and your knight is on
Actually,
d6, then you have game-winning travel mate in 1. Pretty monk ass. What a crazy game 6. Oh my god, we're getting down to 5 minutes here on the clock for Dreamer.
I think you have to play bishop e6 then.
Staying competitive. I think bishop e6 is the move. Bishop e6. There we go. All right. We did it, fam.
Did you find it?
Yeah, he sees bishop e6.
Oh, nice.
It's on the board. Holy butts.
Yeah, I would love to see this variant where he, like, the normal move is just to take on d4 and then go knight g4. That would be funny. And pawn takes bishop, knight
take
check.
on e4? Or no, you're saying
You
push
take on
the pawn to
d5,
d4?
sorry.
Now captures and looks at travels, which I hadn't even considered.
Oh, there's no travel here. I think.
Yeah, but what do you do if the bishop goes? If the bishop hits that?
Yeah, but what does the bishop do?
It threatens winning.
How?
Just diagonal on that board, just moving to on d4, and you can't block it, and you can't move the king because of the pawn and the bishop. Isn't that a problem actually?
But I'd want maybe knight b5.
Oh, exiles actually works.
Knight b5 is okay, I think.
Knight b5 and then even c3.
Maybe. Okay, so knight g4. Knight g4.
Oh, you do see this? Oh, that's great.
Wow. Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah. These guys don't even need to play. Just ask me for the moves.
Yeah, I know. Armchair World Championship finalist here. Oh my god. Okay. Wow.
This is really good stuff from Dreamer here. Because the beauty now is that White has no more squares because he blocked his own retreat squares, like where he could actually protect d3, e3,
Right.
sorry,
e3.
because the only squares would have been d5 and
d1,
which
yeah.
are both blocked by himself.
Absolutely. I mean, he does have. Well, no. Damn. Okay, hold on. So, the idea here is what?
Just.
What if
King
King
c1? King c1. Maybe.
King c1, then what? Knight e3 does what?
I don't see, like, knight e3 looks scary, but what does it actually do?
Exactly. I suppose you can win the. There's the pawn promotion trade. I don't know. It doesn't really do anything.
You just get the bishop, right? Like, isn't it trapped?
No, but bishop e4?
Yeah.
And you promote to.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
Okay, promote takes. But then
You could
takes.
even,
but then you take
travel
the
onto
bishop.
e1.
Travel to e1, then take the
the
promotion and
rook there. Oh, maybe. No,
but, like,
if you
knight
travel.
from c3 will defend from the
maybe.
original timeline.
But if
It's
you.
crazy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's so crazy. Okay, yeah, King c1 here.
I think he has to play King d2 here.
Dude, fuck off. King d2 here is so insane. You might be right. Okay.
I think this is more. I think King c1 is just loses.
Immediate knight e3, I guess, prepping the e1
yes,
travel.
I think we're a world champion, boys.
Dude, wow, 3 minutes on the clock for Dream or for Ryan rather. 5 minutes. He's got the time advantage for the very rare time advantage for this set here. Dreamer has.
Well, that's which of you to say.
Hey, you know, I'm not I'm not the one in the world champ finals here. Ah, this is very shrewd. Now the travel no longer wins because he can just exile the king. Oh no, but it. Oh my god. Okay, the king walked to b1. Now it's no longer softmate to travel to e. If the e1 travel happens, then
You can just take the bishop.
yeah, he can now just take the bishop, which is actually kind of how you win as white. So that is an issue. Oh, geez. This is not a position that you're
Oh,
very happy to see.
Is he considering? I think he
Ryan.
might be considering bishop f5.
Oh, bishop f5. Bishop f5 here. Oh, dude, bishop f5 is brutal. Holy shit.
No, wait. Actually, if he goes bishop f5, white might have
It's like
knight
2d, 5d mate.
knight e4.
Yeah, 94 blocks. No, bishop is even better.
No, yeah,
Bishop loses
bishop
to
f5, knight e4, we just take the bishop.
Sorry, say that one more time.
exactly.
Bishop f5, if knight e4, we just take the bishop.
I think.
Yeah, but
I think
what if bishop
f5, you go
e4?
knight e4.
Bishop e4 saves the bishop, no?
But you can promote on c1 at the end.
Yeah, if bishop f4, then bishop takes.
Oh, and then
knight
you
e4.
and then you lose the rook, right?
Which I guess is still the best scenario, but I think. But what happens after bishop f5, knight e4?
Well, what
Why
about a
they-
Jurassic?
White takes what? Black takes what?
Bishop f5, knight e4, knight takes g2.
And then you can take on d6 with check and pick up the bishop.
Oh,
Yeah.
fork the brutal.
I forgot
Brutal.
about 2D
Wow, yeah.
tactics.
Yeah, 2D tic tacs. Oh,
I think you
wow,
should just
that's
take the bishop
crazy.
here.
That's so insane. Oh my god. Okay, well, the bishop not being on the back rank means that there isn't like the crazy travel win for white here.
Okay, what if something like bishop f5, knight e4, then we promote,
Bishop in 94. We promote.
and
Okay,
then
bishop
Oh, no,
takes,
no.
and then oh no, because the bishop's the only thing defending the. So you have to have like
Just take on g2 here.
rook takes, just sack on g2 here is the
Just take on g2, I think.
or just take on g2. Holy.
Oh yeah,
butts.
actually, yeah, we don't care about the knight, I think. Yeah, because then we can play knight, knight e1, and at some point travel to to d1.
Once the knight gets to d6, by the way, you've got the same promotion threat on white.
He's
that
taking
black
it so
is
long.
posting.
I wonder what he's.
Yeah, really. Wow, we're really coming down to the wire here. A minute and a half left on Dreamer's clock. Just about 3, twice as much on
We
Ryan.
will not get the same promotions as white because we will have to take the bishop, and otherwise bishop defense.
Yeah, bishop defense, and also it kind of freezes your. I mean, you don't want to get mated by the bishop. See the free piece, take the free piece, right? But I don't know. Maybe he thinks that it's more dangerous.
But I think
Okay,
it's
Dreamer spends all that time. He's got just over a minute on the clock. Ryan now has to decide what the best. Wow, okay, he goes ahead and takes the bishop immediately. Wow, he. I guess he doesn't have to worry about back rank stuff here. Yeah, so you have to take here. Now.
I think now you just go back with the knight.
What you mean, d1?
No, to e3.
Oh, to e4.
You go just no as black. You just go knight e3. I don't think you need to recapture even.
Yeah, 93.
I think recapturing on e6 was a mistake.
Wow, you think recapturing on e6 was a mistake?
Why?
Explain yourself.
It's just waste of tempo.
Exactly. And I think now you might have some issues again.
Oh, maybe you're right. Wow, that's
I
crazy.
think
Dreamer's got a minute on the clock. Wow,
you have to
okay,
play
what's the threat here for black? Actually, white is
But
like
probably black can play like just rook c8 and
King D7 is also fine.
rook c8. Okay, king. Wow, really? King e7 played. Less than a minute left on Dreamer's clock. Going into blitz mode here. Oh, dude, I love that rook move.
no, I don't like that rook move. I
Explain
think.
yourself.
Because knight e1 will threaten. Maybe not.
Knight e1 will threaten what? Because you're
No,
about
no.
to
Oh,
win.
you just go knight d3. If rook d1, you to go knight d3.
Rook
You
d1,
just
knight
win.
e3.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but then you sack into the pawn.
No, you get a queen.
Motion.
Ah, right, because it's not check. Yeah, of course.
I think Dreamer's got this.
You think Dreamer's got this? Maybe you're right.
White has to.
Ryan
has to rook
desperately
here, so-
assessing.
Okay, that's the sad
moves
part
here.
about the structure is that the knight actually can't make any threats.
Yeah, wow. Opting to pick up the pawn on f2. No more
Obviously.
promotion issues, which makes a lot of sense. You've got the back rank covered now. We've got rook covering c8. Less than a minute on Dreamer's clock. A minute and a half for Ryan. All right,
It's such a
rotating the
funny game.
knight over to d1.
Yeah, I will have to like look again at the moment when they traded queens because
Knight d1 is a great move. He's just gonna trap his knight. He's gonna play rook b1
Yeah,
next.
now absolutely stuck. The knight on g2 is absolutely stuck. Nowhere to go. Now knight just rook g1, and then what can black do? Doesn't even play it because he knows he just has that move in the pocket, right? Wow, that's wild. How does this happen? The entire time, white's rook on a1.
No, but now you can go rook f8.
Yeah, rook f8 comes out. Rook g1 still gives up the knight, right? Oh my goodness. 25 seconds on Dreamer's clock and ticking. What an insane endgame.
Wait, what was on?
Oh my goodness. Okay, we see rook c5 coming out from Dreamer, giving up
What
the
did-
rook.
on e1 last?
What are we seeing? Is this
What's the white king on e1 last?
a Jurassic? Giving up the... What was the threat there? Doubling up the rooks? No.
Oh, wait, what?
Why don't you just
What
take
is-
the knight?
what- No, king. That's a
Yeah,
bad
I think the last piece that was on e1. I might be mistaken, but probably it was the white king. So
On
if rook
e1?
takes-
Oh, I think you're right. Okay, wait. Here... Oh, shit. This is crazy. Wow, 10 seconds on Dreamer's clock. Just under a minute for Ryan. He's got to figure out how to get out of this mess. If he takes the knight, then rook f1 threatens to mate the king in the past on e1, which is insane. This rook, and then we get the knight travel. It gives Dreamer
and the pawn
a
is
little bit
pinned.
more.
Oh my god.
The pawn is 2D pinned. Oh my god. Ryan immediately looking for a Jurassic, making whatever travel that he can. Now we've got timeline priority for both players. Just under 10 seconds on Dreamer's clock, 15 seconds delay per move. Now they've got to set up, the onus is on Dreamer to set up some sort of, to prevent Ryan from setting up a
And the fucking
recapture.
rook is defending the knight.
Oh
check
my
as well.
goodness. The recaps, the knight is on e2, so the knight, in order to recapture, has to make this crazy like 3 move. Oh, unless he feels like he does have another travel opportunity here actually. So maybe there's some world in which he's got a game-winning travel here. We're absolutely down to the wire, less than 10 seconds on Dreamer's clock. He's got to make sure that he defends against any potential counterplay. Moving the king up makes a lot of sense to me. does this enable... Okay, Ryan trying to buy himself these desperation travels, trying to make something happen, trying to collapse with his knights onto the queen side.
Oh, I don't like that second travel.
See if this attack has any teeth. I think that the second travel is a little bit desperate, to be sure. Now, what do you do? How do you set up a recapture? Both of the recapture squares as well, crucially, for Ryan are being defended by Dreamer's knight on G2, which means that they're inaccessible. He kind of has to win here. Otherwise, he doesn't really have any chances. It doesn't look like he has the material. He's trying to figure out desperately whether there's any way that he can generate any lethal threats of getting his knight in there, because what else can you really do? That knight is now capturable potentially by the pawn on the other board. I don't know if Dreamer will see that in time. Probably it's the safest play. All you have to do is buy yourself time. There aren't any triagonal threats that you have to worry about. Oh my goodness. Okay, setting up for just a straight up check that stifles absolutely any offensive threats here. And that might actually be it, depending on how many turns we have. Less than 10 seconds left on Dreamer's clock, but that might be all he needs, especially with the 20 seconds of delay. Taking out the bishop, now enabling Ryan to make a check here. Are there any recapturing with the bishop from the other board? And I don't think that Ryan has any counterplay. He's got one more turn, and he does cover the check with the knight on D1. He's run out of delay. He's got 15 seconds to find a move here. He's got some checks that he can make, but it doesn't look like there's anything that he can set up that I can tell. Maybe with another travel he could, but he spent it on the knight travel earlier. Now he's given his opponent the opportunity to check with the knight on D1 on the only board in which he's got a forward knight, and it looks like it might just be falling apart here for Ryan. Wow, opting not to deliver a check, which is interesting.
Yeah, how many moves is there?
I think that we've got maybe one more move before we're back into position. Certainly not long. Ooh, that's a pretty brutal undefended check here. On the bottom board, king move over is the only legal move. Now, okay, you can check. And is there... I don't see any way that Ryan can make anything happen in time, because I don't think that there is a check that... Right. Oh my goodness. And that is going to be it. The aggression with the knights is too much. Dreamer buying himself enough time.
Oh, crazy.
To pick up the win here. Both players less than 10 seconds on the clock in an absolutely insane game that went from symmetric to anti-symmetric to symmetric. Wow, what a crazy... Not the conclusion that I anticipated here for this series. And Dreamer is going to take it up 4-2 in the grand finals of the 5D Chess World Championship. We can now crown our very first 5D Chess World Champion. It is going to be Dreamer, the old guard who's been there since the very beginning, taking down the fresh threat of Ryan in a very interesting set. I can't believe that the players opted to go into the half-reflected decisive matches there. What an insane set.
Dreamer's speech is, "I'm not even happy because my brain hurts as fuck."
Another day in the office.
The words of victory here from Dreamer. Sage words per usual.
Beautiful, absolutely. And it's knight cannot take because knight a3, and then this knight travel.
Insane tactical ideas there for both players in the very end. What an insane set. Easily, regardless of outcome, we can say some of the highest level chess in tournament that we've ever seen, that's ever been played. GG to both players. I can't imagine what Dreamer must be feeling. It is now, what, 3:30 a.m. local time in Moscow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. what an insane 5.5 hour series to decide the first 5D Chess World Champion. It's not going to be the end of the story for either of these players, but we will see Dreamer picking up the title, which is going to result in some insufferable shit talk for the weeks to come, and he is going to be ahead on the leaderboard. He's going to take that first place.
Yeah, actually, kind of curious what happens in the ELO bot.
We're gonna have to see, but oh my goodness, what a series it's been. Thank you so much for joining me, Andre. Thank you so much for joining me, Lexi. Wow, I'm speechless. What do you guys have to say off the back of that intense set?
Yeah, I think the last game was the best. It was all, yeah.
It was certainly super hype. All of the games were very back and forth. Even the second to last game was just kind of like the crushing, wacky game where White asserted dominance. It seemed like maybe Black had some counterplay. Oh my god!
Yeah, I think all of these games were really great. Like we didn't have a single game that was like over just after a couple of turns. But yeah, really great play from both of these, and also the development throughout the games themselves. With Dreamer actually his signature falling out on the clock, even in the last game. But I think it's fair to say that the better player won today. Just looking at how the games developed, and yeah, I mean it was on the on the 3 variants. I would have loved to see. I would have loved them play on Defender Pawn as well. But yeah, I mean, Half Reflected was a really fun one too, and probably not like you didn't see it as much. The imbalance, like maybe in the first White game, kind of, but the second one, I mean, that was just the perfect finish to the series.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the fact that the pawn was pinned, so it cannot recapture, like it's it's the levels of 5D chess. Like first you I can checkmate, I can capture this pawn when it enters the past, and you're happy, and then pawn recaptures. But then you're like, oh, my pawn is defending itself.
What a beautiful ending lethal tactic there with the 2D pawn pin preventing the 5D pawn recapture. That was absolutely fantastic. With like 5 seconds left on the clock as well. Wow. There you have it.
And was I right that there was nothing after the king was on E1? Or
yeah, I think that the king was the last thing that was on E1.
Okay, yes, then it's like the whole sequence worked.
Yeah. Holy
well,
shit.
my schedule rip.
Like
for some reason, I woke up today like in
the last position could be a great puzzle. It really could. I don't think we could have asked for a better grand finals here. Well, I mean, tie breaks would have been fun, but you know, I think we couldn't have asked for a better decisive grand finals. That's for sure. Wow. There you have it. I'm
also
speechless.
happy to have a winner today.
Yeah, that was gonna be it was gonna be such suspense, and then with the short time controls, it's just so much more volatile. I'm glad that we got to play it all out today. Let's go ahead and hear from Dreamer if he wants to share a few words. Come on out and let us get a statement from you if you've got the energy, Dreamer.
Fuck 5D chess. I can't play it anymore.
That seems like the most appropriate thing to say.
Is this you announcing your retirement, or what can we expect?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I will never ever play this game.
I see you on the ELO bot tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the ELO bot.
Understandable. On top. Yeah, it's what a way to go. It's just if you had to sum up either the experience that you've had leading up to this, or just any thoughts or feelings you've got racing through your veins now, please pour your heart out to a streamer. What's going on inside?
I can't really explain what's going on with me right now. I just have no words. Literally was so exhausting.
Wow. I mean, who could
I
blame
remember
you?
after the first game, I literally screamed after winning the game, leaned back and pulled my abs somehow. I never thought I could do this.
Wow, the final match taking a physical toll as well as an intellectual and emotional one on our players.
That's why I asked for a 5-minute break.
That's the first injury I've heard of in 5D chess.
The first
Fantastic.
competitive sports injury.
Yeah.
It's gonna set you back in the draft next season.
Yeah.
Wow. No, you got to get like a back brace or something, you know, like professional weightlifters got to put on the belt for 5D chess. Make sure you don't strain your core. Wow. It's going to be it. What are your plans now, streamer? What can we expect you to do here?
I will come back only under one circumstance. If we play season 5D League in Princess. Only in Princess. Whenever the Princess is played, call me.